there are many people at 4th Street that do wonderful things, and sometimes we don't know what they are, and sometimes we do, and sometimes we have an opportunity to celebrate them in rather amazing ways. Now, I did not know, and perhaps you did not know, for the last many months, few years, Derek Sale has been traveling to some different places in the state and around, doing some wonderful things with students and helping other people learn how to do that. But this last month has been a particularly interesting travel time for Derek. He has been in Washington, D.C. twice. He was in Washington, D.C. 2 or 3 weeks ago with some students doing, was that the summit? He'll tell you more about that in a minute, but he had the students with him that he has been working with on these amazing projects. You perhaps saw the PBS documentary last year of some of the things that he's been doing with his students. He, a few weeks ago, had them in D.C., where they were with a lot of other people from around the country. The children, I understand, got to meet the president, while the adults were in a holding area and did not get to meet the president. This past week, Derek and his family, Amy and Henry and Charlie, were also in D.C., and this was a very special time, not just to tour the area and get to see things, but there was a wonderful awards made by it was a DiscoverE summit, am I saying that correctly? And it was the DiscoverE Educator Award. Now, there were very, very many runners-up, and there were 3 national award winners, and Derek Sale was one of them. And these were 3 outstanding teachers who were nominated by engineers for their exceptional contributions to this type of education and to fostering engineering careers with their students. I talked to Derek last night, and he has some very interesting perspectives on what this is doing in our education, and was supported by people on the university and college level in his views on that. And I've asked Derek to come up this morning and tell us just a little bit about what he's doing and what he thinks all of this means for education.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Sharon, for a very wonderful introduction. Thank you to my mother for what's going to happen after church. And thank you to my family for joining me in Washington and my wife for making my work possible. 2 weeks ago, I took 3 students to D.C. just to recap that real quick. The White House hosted the 2nd annual White House Science Fair, bringing together children and young adults from around the country who are engineers, inventors, and scientists. And the goal was to recognize at the national level science at the lowest level in school. And so my 3 students were able to showcase an engineering system they had developed to the president to take Detroit off fossil fuels immediately and put it onto alternative fuels with very minimal impact into the city, as well as creating viable farms within the city to eliminate poverty. So it is very interesting that 2 weeks later I traveled back to receive one of 3 national awards for the DiscoverE Educator Award. And it's Discovering Education, put out by the National Society of Professional Engineers. What happens is in 12 months, the national core curriculum standards are rolling out throughout the country. All 50 states are being asked to create curriculum that asks every child in every classroom to engage in engineering classes, engage in engineering lessons. So that means all of your grandchildren, children, future children, yourselves, the children who are here, are going to be involved in that. And this is a groundbreaking, game-changing event. Because in the past 12 years I've been involved in engineering, and some of you know that once a year I'll bring my engineering class here and we'll do a tour of the church for the architecture. We'll go down and visit the soup kitchen to learn about stewardship. But this is every child, and it comes back to the idea of stewardship. My philosophy of teaching is grounded in this church, and this is important. I think that all of you need to know, because I was a child of this church. I grew up in this church. And my views and my personality are based on this church. My view of stewardship is that we are not only responsible for the planet, but also for each other. And through concerted effort in education, we see our children taking care of us in a much better way. But Detroit is going to be a nexus for development. And I shared this thought with Reverend Mook last night. Ford Street is in a unique position because we're in the center of this nexus. Downtown will not go away. Downtown is going to stay. And in every model that I've been a part of, we are in the middle of everything for the next 100 years. So we are looking at putting our faith-based message of stewardship forward in a realistic, measurable manner with everyone in the city and the region, and it's being recognized nationally. I was honored to do it, but I was more honored to know where I came from and the theories and the beliefs that were instilled in me as a child of this church have shown through as an adult. So thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing all of you later.